Hello again, Upper Adams. This is Zach Ramsey bringing you more information about the district's new web page. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to set up your own page, and you can use this information if you're building a page for a sports team or a club. I'm going to use a teacher page as an example, but the principles are still basically the same. The first thing you're going to want to do is to log in just like we did last time. And remember, this is called the front page of the site. If you click on the site manager, what comes up is actually called the back end of the site. It's the part that people don't see unless they have editing rights. Your page will most likely look like this. And remember, if you don't have multiple sections to edit, then you probably won't have this bar over here on the side. If you have a section to edit, it will probably look like this. And like I said, I'm going to use a teacher page as an example. Each teacher starts out with a preset variety of pages. You can edit and delete these, but it's easier to delete than to build, so I thought I'd give you a running start. Elementary teachers might notice they have slightly different pages because elementary teachers and secondary teachers have slightly different needs. But you can also add any kind of page that you want. Today, the focus is going to be based on getting in and being able to edit the basic content that's on your page. So you can see here, these are all different types of pages that I might have on my page. These are all different topics I might want to have. If I go out and I click on my view website right now, I don't have any information. You can see my name up here at the top, sample user, and then I don't have any information under these, so all of these are blank over here on the side. I'm going to come up and click the X to exit the website view. This just shows me what the front end would look like. And if I want to edit any of these sections, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it and open it up. Here you can see how the page is set up. Basically, the page is made up of different features, and these are called apps. Each app has a different function to help you display content. So if you click on your welcome page, you'll see that there's a variety of apps in here. Later, I'll send out a quick list of what some of these apps do and how you can best use them, but for now, I'm just going to show you the easiest ways to edit the apps that are already on your page. If you click on the app, you'll be able to go in and edit the content. This is a Flex Editor app. This is the most basic type of app. If you can use Microsoft Word, then you'll be able to use this. When you click on it, it opens up, and it just gives you a basic layout of all the things that you might want to do. You can type, you can add whatever you want, you can put in pictures. It's pretty much just like making a Word document. Just a note, we currently have what's called restrictive formatting, which means that there are limitations in the font colors and the sizes you can use. This is because we're currently using the incubation site. Remember, our other site design is currently being built, so you'll most likely have the freedom to change eventually. But for now, I wouldn't go crazy with worrying exactly how it looks on the page. Once it's applied to the new template, the look will change anyways. Just get the information and the content in there, and then we'll worry about how it looks a little bit later. Also, if you're into website design and have a basic understanding of HTML, you can view the HTML code by clicking down here. If I were to type, when I click HTML, I can see the actual HTML code. The apps are more customizable this way, but obviously you do need to understand a little bit of coding to make it work. If you have no knowledge of coding, that's fine. Just leave it in the normal view, type just like you would in a Word document, and you'll be set to go. So let me go ahead and add in a little bit of content. I just want to say hello. I'm testing this. And then I'm going to click save. Now that it's saved, I can go view the website. Here's what it would look like. Pretty boring, huh? But at least now you're getting an idea of how these apps work. Now, one of the things you'll notice when I made my school webpage, and remember this is just sample information, there was an app here, and this is actually a Flex Editor app, just like I was showing you. Over here on the right hand side, there are multiple other apps. This is actually an announcement app, and then this is an upcoming events app. So let me show you how that works on your site. So here was your setup, and you had your Flex Editor. And then over on the side, there are these different apps over here. So if I click on the announcement app, I'll click on new announcement. Maybe I'll type in the title, chapter 15, due tomorrow. A couple neat things about this app that I won't go too much into detail, but I do want to show you. First off, these tabs, you can change these. So I can change this to start displaying or end displaying. So you don't have to go on and set your website or delete stuff on the day that you want it to go. I could set this to start 2 weeks from now. As soon as that date hits, the announcement app will show that. So it really helps to cut down on the time you need to spend maintaining your website if you put in everything that you know up front and then just set these dates so that it kind of takes care of itself. So that's pretty much all there is to that. I'm going to click save and it's out there. I'll come back and I'll show you this options gear in 1 second, but first let's take a look at what it looks like. So here was my Flex editor over here that I typed hello, I'm testing this, and then over here was my announcement. But this looks pretty plain Jane here if you're taking a look. So if we go over here, we're going to go back to the back end of our site, and if you look under options, there is a setting that says show the app name on the site. So I might want to do that. Also, because I'm going to have the name out there instead of announcements, which is kind of boring, maybe I want to say something like Mr. Ramsey's Notes or something like that. Then I can click OK, save it, and then whenever the website lists it, you'll see that right here I have my title. So that can help you organize the page, and it can give some headings and titles. These headings will look different once the new template is applied, so just keep that in mind. But for the most part, this is a good way to kind of differentiate between different things on your page. One more neat thing, and I'm going to touch on this later, but I do want to make you aware of it. Under options, we have this tab that says sharing. If I share something with another person, then what that means is they'll be able to take that app and put it right on their page. They don't need to edit it, they don't need to update it. Anytime I update that app, it's going to update. This might be particularly nice for a learning support teacher if the regular ed teacher will just share the app of what homework is due. Maybe he or she would just make a page of all of those apps of homework due. He or she won't have to update it then, it will just feed straight through from the other teacher's page. So that's just one thought on it, and I'll show you that more in the next video, but I do want to make you aware that that's out there. Now you saw how those apps are set up. I'm going to show you something else. If we come back out to the welcome page, maybe I don't want the app set up this way. Two things. First off, you'll notice that I had an upcoming events app down here, but when you look at my website, it doesn't say anything. If you list an app but there's nothing in it, it just won't show up on your page. So that might be kind of nice if you set it up on your page and then when it's not in use, you just don't see it. The other thing that I want to point out is you can change the way these apps are arranged on your page. One of the first things you'll want to do is come over here where it says Manage Apps and Layout. Click on it, and you'll see that instead of a solid line, these are now dotted lines. Now you'll have a chance to make some edits to your page. One of the first things I'll point out is that when it has these dotted lines, you can just click and drag and move it over. So this is pretty much just a drag and drop program. It's really easy to move whatever you want wherever you want it. And now that I've done that, if I go and look at my website, now my apps are right on top of each other. So you get a lot of freedom of how you want to move things around. You can also change the way all of the apps lay out on the page by clicking Change Layout. And then in here, here's all the different styles. So this is what I have right now. It's one big column and then a little sidebar on the right. If you remember, that's where the announcement app was. I could set it up so there's just one big column. I could set it up so there's two small columns, one big column in the middle, and then design on the top and bottom. If there's nothing in one of these sections, then it just pretends like it's one bigger section. But I did want to point out that you can change this so that instead of just being limited to the way it's set up, you have the freedom to design it the way you want. I'm going to leave it the way it is right now. And what I want to do is I want to show you how to add an app. So I'm going to drag this back over here. And this was my welcome. Let's just say that this was for welcoming people to my site. And I say, you know what, below that I want to put some other information. If I go into where it says add app, you can see that they've listed a bunch of different apps here. As I mentioned, I'm going to release a video so that you can see some of these in more detail, but for now I just want to show you how you would go about adding an app. So maybe on the first page of my website I want another, let's just say another Flex Editor app. And this Flex Editor might be used as a description for my announcements here. I'm not going to display the name, so it doesn't really matter what I call it. It's just something that I need to be able to remember what it is. I'm going to save that the way it is. I'm going to drag this over into this box, and then I'm going to tell it I'm done. So now what I want to do is come back in and edit this Flex Editor app just like I did before. Just a note, you can put in pictures, you can put in whatever you want, but this is just going to be a description. I click save. Go back out and view the website, and there's one app on top of the other app. Getting things to fit together is a little bit of a trial and error, figuring out what you want it to look like. Once again, it is going to change a little bit once we get our new site all together, so I wouldn't worry about the spacing so much until we get there, but for now this is at least a way to get the content that you want on your site. And I understand if you're thinking, well, you know, I don't really want to mess with it until I see what it's going to look like then. Believe me, it's going to be a lot easier to just take the content and modify it a little bit rather than trying to build the whole thing from scratch all at once. Working on it piece by piece is definitely going to be a little bit easier for you. Anyway, now you should have all the basic information you need to come in and add a little bit of content to the welcome page. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on User Sample to go back to my section. Remember, teachers have a section, so I'm going to click on that and go back to my section. Here are all of my pages again, and I'm going to show you once again how to edit a page, but this time I'm going to show you a different app. Under the About the Teacher page, there's already a preset app, and because there's only one app on the page, it will automatically come into the editing stage. But the page layout will look like this. Here you can see my one app, and it's just a one column design here. I'm going to click on that, and this is going to fill in the information about me. It's just a nice easy template to fill in. So here I would put in Mr. and I'll put Sam Cole as my name. And as my biography, I might type in all kinds of things. I could tell them that I grew up wrestling bears in Russia. Whatever you want to include about your biography, maybe where you studied. You can put in all of these different things, your titles, your dog Fluffy, anything that you want to tell the people. Down here for photo, you can upload your own photo, and if you have experience on the web, you know how that works. There's another option also. If you click on Browse, we actually have a database that has your current picture from the last school year uploaded. We use this for the teacher database, but this is also great for you to use on your site. So if you just want to upload something from your computer, that's fine. Click on Browse, find it on your computer, and upload it. Here I'm going to click on Shared Image, and then this is going to be everything that I can find. I'm going to click on Top Level because it's not in the top level. If there's anything the district needs to share document-wise, we'll put some documents in here. I'm going to click on the arrow, and if you click off to the side, it's not going to work. You got to click right on the arrow, and it drops down. Here's logos and graphics that you might need from our district, in case you want to put the school mascot on your page or something like that. And if you click Staff Photos, here are all the staff photos from our school district. One thing I do want to apologize for is you don't see the user name down below or aside the picture, which makes it a little bit difficult to find yours. But if you hold your mouse over top of it, a lot of times the name will come up. So they're all arranged alphabetically by last name. It might take a little bit of searching, but you can find whatever image you want, whatever image you need, just by clicking through. Let's see here. I'm at S, so I'm a little bit too far. Oh, there I am. If I click, there's me. Continue. There's my picture. Insert image. And now this will just use this image. I could just click Save there, but I'm also going to click on Details. Don't forget these tabs are up here. And this is where I can enter my contact information. So just my email Now I will caution you that if you have more than 1 degree, you're going to want to put a slash and keep typing in, because if you put in a space like this, these spaces aren't going to register in this field, I found out. And you might just want to put a slash and say minor in web design. So something along those lines, whatever your degree is in. Click save, and there you go. So if I go back out now to my website, this was the first page that I come to. Remember, this is where we put out some of our information in. If I go to my About the Teacher page where we made those last edits, there was the picture. Here would be my biography. However, I do need to make sure that I fill it in a little bit more than that. My phone number, my email, my degrees. And so it's a really easy way to go about setting up a nice, simple, easy biography. This should give you a good chance to get online, to play around with some of the different features, and get accustomed to the way the software is set up. So there you go. For the most part, these apps are nice, easy, fill in the blank. You can put whatever you want. You can arrange around the page. And if that's what you're looking for, just something nice and simple, it doesn't get much more simple than that in web design. So I encourage you to log on, try it out, see if it works, see what doesn't work. There are more complex things you'll be able to do. I won't worry too much right now about the homework and the course expectations. But some of these can be really powerful tools, and in the next video when I show you the different types of apps, this will be something that we'll come back to. But that's it for now. If you have any questions at all, please email me at webmaster@upperadams.org, and I'll be more than happy to help you out with it in any way that I can. Have fun exploring these apps on your own, and once again, good luck.